What's going on, everybody? Toby1 Shinobi here, and today I'm going to teach you how to win every single game in Chapter 5, Season 4 of Fortnite Zero Build. Maybe not every single game, but you're going to be winning games pretty dang consistently after watching this video. Now, the way I'm going to set this video up is basically going to be a checklist of things you got to be doing in order to win games consistently this season. No particular order, but usually the higher priority stuff first. As you can see here, I have a pretty high win rate this season, doing pretty well, and it's because I'm using these strategies and tactics that I'm about to teach you. And I'm also going to give you a bonus tip at the end of the video for getting high kill games consistently as well. All right, now let's get into the video. Number 1, you got to learn how to use the jetpack effectively and how to jetpack skate. Jetpack skating is incredibly powerful, it's incredibly fast, and the jetpack is probably the best mobility item Fortnite has ever had, or the hover jet, not the old jetpack, but the new jetpack. So if you learn how to master the jetpack, you're going to have a much higher success rate this season. It is just that good of a mobility item. Save your life, it can win fights easily, and it's just really overpowered in the right hands. And if you can't get a jetpack, then you can use something like Shuri's Black Panther claws as well. Learn how to use those effectively too. You've got to have mobility this season, and pretty much any season in Fortnite Zero Build. If you're not carrying mobility, you can pretty much consider yourself dead. So always put mobility into your loadout. I promise it will save your life and win you fights. All right, number 2, you've got to have good aim. I mean, that's just honest truth. Every single season, you got to have good mechanics. Good aim and movement is going to win you fights. I would say 50% of your fights are up to aim and movement, and the other 50% is strategy, tactics, and loadout. So you've got to get good aim. And if you want to improve your aim, check out my Zero Build Mastery course. It has a ton of aim training scenarios as well as movement scenarios in there, and I promise it'll help you. You'll get a grading based on your total score on the map, and you'll actually track your progress as you improve your aim in each scenario. Map code is above and in the comments below. Number 3, you gotta be carrying bubble shields. Bubble shields are incredibly powerful this season because of the jetpacking and because of all the mobility. If you don't have mobility, you definitely got to be carrying bubble shields, and if you do have mobility, you definitely got to be carrying bubble shields. They're just that good. I promise you, they will win you so many fights that you should not have won. They will get you out of so many bad situations. Number 4, you got to get comfortable with a 2-gun loadout. Why a 2-gun loadout? Well, this season, utility and equipment is so good. There are so many good equipment items and utility items, such as the War Machine auto turret, the jetpack, bubble shields, Flowberry Fizz, and yes, I'm putting Flowberry Fizz in the utility category because it can enhance your movement, it can help you rotate across the map quickly with jump pads, etc. And a 2-gun loadout definitely works. You really don't need 3 guns. You never really do, but especially this season, we have some very flexible options, such as the Sovereign Shotgun, which when aiming down sights hits at very long range, and when hip firing shoots very fast and does very good damage at close range. You also have the fully automatic Striker AR, which has crazy damage per second, works really good at long range, and very good as an SMG hip fire. Number 5, you gotta learn how to use vehicles effectively in combat, and you should always be using vehicles when moving through the map. Try to always keep a vehicle nearby so that you can escape out of bad situations. Even if you have a jetpack, even if you got crazy movement, shockwaves, all that kind of stuff, things can go wrong, things can go sideways. You can get down to 10 HP, and if you can get yourself in a nice safe metal box and drive away, that is ideal. There are few things as good as a car in this game to save your life, other than maybe bubble shields. Number 6, you gotta find out all the consistent places to find heals on the map, so if you ever get in trouble or you need health, you can quickly go there and then get back to fighting or get back to rotating through the map. And the best place you can find this is Fortnite.gg, the website. You can go ahead and turn on a bunch of filters there, show you where the slurp cactuses are, where slurp trucks are, where vending machines are. And pro tip, the health machines or the mending machines are always at the railway stations across the map. There's also a ton of slurp cactuses across the map. When you start looking at the map in Fortnite.gg, you'll start seeing these routes where you can just basically run in a little circle and get to full shields in about 30 seconds or so, which is actually crazy and a huge advantage. Number 7, you gotta be getting the forecast towers if you really wanna win games. The forecast towers will show you the next zone, the next circle in zone, before any anyone else can see it, which is a huge advantage if you want to get good positioning and set up for the end game. The forecast towers spawn in at the end of zone 2 in game, so if check your map really quick, and if you're on zone 2, look for it about 1 minute remaining in zone 2, I believe, is when they spawn. You're gonna have to kill the guards, get the key, run up to the tower, and put it in the computer console, and then you'll be able to see the next zone before anyone else. And if you're purely playing to win, there are a few things as powerful as that for setting up in the end game and securing yourself a nice position where people are gonna have a really hard time getting you out of it. And if you have bunkers and bubble shields as well, even better. And once you've got that forecast tower and you're in the end game, you want to be checking your map frequently. You always want to be rotating to zone early before everyone else, because if you rotate late, especially in ranked, you're going to get caught up in a bunch of congestion. A bunch of people that are rotating late as well, and they're all on the edge of circle, on the edge of that new zone, and they're all trying to fight to survive, right? They're limping in. You want to be the one that's set up on the opposite side of that, moving to the far side of zone and setting up nice, and then not having to worry about people immediately jumping on you as soon as you get into zone or fighting for your life. You want to be set up on the dead side of zone, and by dead side I mean usually the coastal side or the side that barely any players are going to be rotating from. So if it's center map, you usually want to be on the opposite side of the center map. Usually most people are around the center of the map, and if there's popular POIs, you usually want to be away from those. And if there's a coastal side, you usually want to be towards the coast or the water so that you have a safe side at your back. Number 8, you want to figure out 2 to 3 drop locations that you really like, and you want to learn them like the back of your hand. You want to be able to drop into these locations nearly perfectly, have a nice loot route that you can instantly hit the ground running, get looted with some shields on you, and then start eliminating players who might not know the POI as well as you do and who are falling behind, not looting as fast as you. I have a great video with Zeraxis on that concept of tempo and winning your early games or winning the drop. It's a very interesting concept, but basically you want to be looting faster than everyone else. You don't really want to be taking fights. You want to get fully set up before anyone else and then start eliminating everyone in the POI. And you can use Fortnite.gg to also find a nice loot path, figure out where those Avenger chests are, because the main POIs have the Avenger chests. They each have about 5 of them, and once you figure out where those Avenger chests are, you usually want to land there, try to get a jetpack, which is a pretty low chance, but if you do, you're pretty set, and then know where the other remaining Avenger chests are and go and loot those as well as normal chest spawns, health spawns like slurp trucks or cactuses or mending machines, that sort of thing. You want to learn all these things about your POI, and you want to learn about power positions in your POI. Places where you can hold high ground or you can hold people and they really can't do much about it, or places that give you nice exits, like if you get in trouble you can jump into a car or hit a jump pad, that sort of thing. Number 9, and kind of number 8 as well, don't drop into the hot POIs with the medallions. Just don't do it if you want to win games, because these POIs are rat nests. If there aren't a ton of people there probably are a few, and they're probably just waiting for you to start fighting the boss so they can third party you. So just avoid that and be the one that third parties them coming from a different POI once you're fully looted. Because what will happen is that these hot POIs, people have no loot, they get a little bit of loot off the drop, they start fighting, and then they're just constantly fighting for their life the whole time, and then they feel this rush to kill the boss as quick as they can, get that medallion, and then get out. But if you know how to loot your POI really fast and rotate over to that POI quickly, then it's really not a problem, and you're usually going to show up just as they start fighting that boss, or you can show up after they killed the boss and they're leaving the POI, and then just take the medallion and the loot from them. Let them do all the hard work for you. Trust me, this is the way. Number 10, you want to master your rotations and ways that you can get across the map quickly and safely. And this is stuff like jump pads across the map, or vehicles, or nitro rings, and also using Flowberry Fizz in combination with this stuff to help you go a lot further. You can use Fortnite.gg for this so that you can turn on those filters for the jump pads, the nitro rings, cars, and all that stuff. And any vehicle or any chest on Fortnite.gg that is outlined with a yellow outline means it's 100% spawn right. It'll always be there for you if you need it. So that can also be really nice to know generally for your drops. But learning how to rotate through the map and understanding where people are usually located during what phases of the game, like for instance mid game, most of the people are towards the middle of the map. Early game, most people are at those those popular POIs. So if you can find ways to path through the map and find good routes that are safe, that take you along high ground so that you can scout and see people around you before you get into a valley or a canyon and find out that somebody is on top of that canyon, you know, figure out the ways that you can move through the map safely, basically, and that you're not going to get taken by surprise. Because I promise you, this is one of those things that really sets the pros apart from the advanced players, knowing how to rotate safely and get advantages on players and opportunities when you're moving through the map. Also, knowing things like NPC spawns is really helpful as well. If you need health, you can usually talk to an NPC and they'll drop a piece of health for you, whether it's a health pack or a large shield pot. And also knowing which NPCs sell shockwaves or mobility items that you can buy to help you get out of a bad situation, or just a refresh on equipment during the game. All right, number 11, this is kind of a bonus tip. This isn't really how to win games, but this is how to get high elimination games. The center of the map is incredible for rotation, for healing, all this kind of stuff, right? There's a ton of heals and a ton of rotation at the center of the map near restored reels near this lake. So if you want a high kill game, you usually want to be just rotating around this area in between restored reels, reckless railways, and the nitrodrome. Because if you get in trouble here, there's ways to get out with jump pads. There's tons of vehicles, right? You can look at all these cars that spawn here. There's slurp cacti all over this area, which can really get you out of trouble. And if you know where all those slurp cacti are located, where all the shield barrels are located, this can be an incredibly great spot to just survive and find fights, because generally people start rotating towards the middle of the zone. And if you have a medallion and you're just kind of hanging out in this area and you know all these ways to get out of trouble or to jump on people's heads using jump pads and flowberry fizz and that sort of thing, and you've got your jetpack movement down and good aim, you are going to be getting high kill games consistently if you just hang out around this area and you use all these resources to your advantage. For instance, if you didn't know this, most people do know it, there is a triple slurp cacti down at this little shack down here over near the nitrodrome, in between nitrodrome and restored reels. This is 90 HP. Pretty much instantly. You have to hit them one after another, just like half of a second or 1 second between each one in order to get that 90 HP. Don't hit them all at once, otherwise it doesn't work. But that kind of thing, right? Knowing this stuff. There's another one right here. That's 120 HP we're looking at right here. 150 HP, 180 HP, 210 HP, 240 HP, right? That kind of stuff. Knowing this stuff can really help you get high elimination games because you don't have to spend a lot of time looking for heals. And if you spend most of your time in the air with flowberry fizz and jump pads, or using Shuri claws and the jetpack to skybase or like get really high up in the air and scout for people to find out where they're at so that you can jump on their head and kill them, that's really helpful as well. And usually the best way to do that is with these launch pads, so knowing their location is really good, as well as using green water and the skull dashes to your advantage in fights. All right, y'all, I think you've listened to me blabber on long enough. If you want more in-depth guides of like how to actually mechanically win games, tactics, and strategy, you've got to check out my must-watch playlist for Fortnite Zero Build. I promise you it'll make you a better player or your money back guaranteed. Wait, but we didn't pay him any money. Never mind that. All right, y'all, thank you so much. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up on it. If you like what I'm doing, please consider using code TobyWanShinobi in your Fortnite item shop. It helps me and my family more than you'll ever know, and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, y'all, have yourself a wonderful day. And remember, a black belt is just a white belt who never quit. Shinobi out.